I am sure you can imagine the distraction at the moment to make sure that the move is successful.
In the early 1800s, the Dutch were the last to abolish slavery.
Brothers and sisters, the 1863 Emancipation Proclamation, which we celebrate today, is therefore a critical moment on our island.
Good evening, viewers, and welcome to this special edition of SXM Daily News for this evening, July the 1st, 2020, Emancipation Day on St. Martin. This year's celebration centered around the theme Sacred Legacies, Standing on the Shoulders of Giants. It featured a dynamic repertoire of performances from dance, poetry to drumming. The production was inspired by the era from 1848 to 1863 when our ancestors fought for their freedom. The performances set out to evoke attendees and viewers to reflect on the situation from then until now. While many may dwell on the many differences we might have as individuals, collectively we are one people, united in the fight for our human rights with a common goal to be free from all forms of oppression. Presentations and speeches were given earlier today by the Governor, His Excellency Dr. Anders Eugene B. Holliday, Prime Minister of St. Martin, the Honorable Sylvia Jacobs, and Minister of Culture, Dr. Anders Rodolph Samuel. There were a number of other performances.
Please help me welcome His Excellency, Dr. Eugene Bernard Holliday, an economist, a former Deputy Director of the Central Bank of the Netherlands Antilles, former Managing Director of Winair, former President of the Princess Juliana International Airport, continuing in the footsteps of ancestral giants, and here with the mantle of leadership and responsibility in the continuum of next generation of giants that lead St. Martin to a pinnacle of excellence as the first and current Governor of St. Martin. Ladies and gentlemen, the Governor of St. Martin, His Excellency, Dr. Eugene Bernard Holliday.
To the indomitable will of our forefathers to emancipate themselves and to free us so that we can be the best that we can be. Marie-Louise and I are therefore honored and pleased to be here to observe the 157th anniversary of Emancipation Day. I am truly honored by the privilege to stand here and reaffirm the emancipation ideals of liberty, equality, and justice for all people. It is in that spirit, and considering the theme of this celebration, that I have named my reflections, Carrying the torch of the sacred legacies of emancipation. Carrying the torch of the sacred legacies of emancipation. My brothers and sisters, on July 1st, 1863, 157 years ago, the Emancipation Proclamation went into effect, abolishing slavery and declaring the affranchised population of St. Martin free persons. The Emancipation Proclamation marked the triumph of the indomitable will of the enslaved men and women on St. Martin to be free, a triumph which forever redefined our collective destiny as one St. Martin people. My brothers and sisters, the 1863 Emancipation Proclamation, which we celebrate today, is therefore a critical moment on our island, a critical moment in the history of our St. Martin. It brought an official end to the unethical enslavement of St. Martin's black population and laid the foundation for the civil liberties which we all enjoy today as one St. Martin people. By opening the path to civil liberties, emancipation created the opportunity for a better life for all St. Martiners, regardless of race, color, gender, or creed. That, my brothers and sisters, is a sacred legacy of emancipation handed down to all St. Martiners, handed down by giants of emancipation like Wantete Loke and other freedom fighters like her. Giants who lived by the adage which my grandfather Lionel Bernard Scott so often used, that there is no success without sacrifice. There is no success without sacrifice. As we celebrate emancipation at the foot of this freedom fighter monument on this roundabout, we are reminded that our freedom is not free. It was earned by the struggles, sacrifices, and blood of our forefathers. We, like the generations before us, therefore owe it to them and to future generations of St. Martiners to carry the torch of emancipation.
A daughter of the soil in the continuum of the next generation of giants that led St. Martin to a pinnacle of excellence, to office and position as Prime Minister of St. Martin. Please welcome Prime Minister Sylveria Jacobs.
In 1863, when the institution that was slavery was officially abolished on the southern side of St. Martin, our ancestors, on whom and on whose shoulders we stand today, had already liberated themselves by making it economically unfeasible for it to be maintained on this side, while family members, friends, compadres, as they would say, to the north were already free some 15 years before, in 1848. St. Martin, but 37 square miles, divided from 1648 under two different states, could not sustain freedom on one side while enslavement continued on the next. So though 1863 is the official commemoration, in reality, the Dutch side of St. Martin was free with our brothers and sisters from 1848. History has shown us that even after most countries in Europe abolished the slave trade itself, the transportation, the human smuggling, in the early 1800s, the Dutch were the last to abolish slavery. Denmark in 1803, Britain in 1834, France in 1848, and finally the Dutch in 1863. While Suriname and the rest of the then called Dutch Antilles officially abolished slavery in 1863, here on sweet St. Martin, our ancestors ran for freedom. Across the borders, the Diamond 26 and many, many others simply ran for freedom, crossed through the bushes, over the rock walls, through Kosha, even while shots rang out. They ran for freedom. So the Dutch knew that they could not maintain productivity with all their possessions running across the border. So in essence, though Georgie Ben Haidam, we were all our ancestors fought and got their freedom. It saw an end to an era of the most brutal and horrendous, inhumane time in our history. And in these Black Lives Matters March, we hear that we were not even considered to be human. So to use the term inhumane, I guess, is an honor. We often conceal the level of pain and the hurt that surrounds this time. What it was self-enrichment on the backs of the hard work of our people. Though the physical restraints were removed, we have yet to remove the institutionalized inequalities we continue to face even today as member states in the Dutch Kingdom. While slavery was one of the most horrific events in our recent history, today we still stop and stand to honor our ancestors' strength, those who toiled through this hardship for so many years, hundreds of years.
He ascended the ladder of success through grit and strong work ethic he knew from the road work to become a contractor par excellence. His sacred legacies include the Orania School, the St. Martin of Tours Catholic Church, and the Covenant, the St. Rose Hospital, and Little Bay, including many residential projects and road expansion projects, including symbolically sacred site of this ceremony upon where we stand today. Our speaker's lineage and heritage roots extend to the Barry lineage from French Quarter, deep into our story, as long back as the 1600s, with generations of village entrepreneurs and caretakers. Our speaker is the grandson of Frederick Barry, better known as Babai from Shamba Hill in French Quarter, who was known as a giant in livestock. The Barry, Reed, Illich, David form part of interconnected, interwoven legacies and families and clans that gave birth to the continuum of next generation of giants that lead with mantle of leadership and responsibility to propel St. Martin culture to a pinnacle of educational and artistic excellence. The Minister of Culture, Youth and Sport, Dr. Rudolph Samuel.
Today, I am asking for next celebration that we would not see cars and trucks driving in this vicinity while we remember the work that our ancestors have done. I think it's a grave respect when permission is asked and it is denied in this fashion. People of St. Martin, good morning. Sacred legacies. Standing on the shoulders of giants. Emancipation, emancipation, emancipation. A word that brings about many reactions within us at the same time. When you truly know this word, it takes you on a mental journey. Hearing the word emancipation takes you back in time while you think about your present situation. Freedom, escaping, and getting away. There is always something, somewhere, or someone that appears in your mind while you wonder about your future. Sacred legacies. Imagine when the idea came about running away from that place in the mind of a person. The first thing was, who can I tell this to? Who can I trust? Who is not working for them? Who is willing to agree with me? Who do I talk to that won't work against me? When this person was found and the idea was approved, then a meeting took place. The preparation. The putting the idea in action starts. Not everyone is allowed to know. And you know why. During working hours, the opportunity to run off and check out the best route would be created. The others had to work harder to ensure that the portion of work of the one that ran off to check the route was done. Not enough work done that day would mean keep an eye on the field the next day. What would they eat while they are running away? This means that someone would have had to eat less and go to sleep hungry so that food could be put aside for the one who is going to run away. Remember, the one who is going to run away gets to eat all their food because that one has to be strong for the journey. Then the execution to freedom takes place. I am sure you can imagine the distraction at the moment to make sure that the move is successful. And then it is realized that someone is missing, and everyone had to come and line up. Everyone is questioned. And because no one knew anything, everyone would have to be punished. But everyone knew that they had to be strong and endure whatever happened. Those giants went without eating, took all the punishment, and had to do the work as a contribution towards the emancipation of another person. We, the people of St. Martin, are sometimes called to reenact what our sacred giants have done so many times over and over again in the past.
And stay tuned. We will have much more for you in this special edition of SXM Daily News for today, Emancipation Day celebrations.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
Make use of WIB mobile banking with easy access and direct usage of face recognition, PIN code, or fingerprint. Download WIB mobile banking app and make your transaction from anywhere at any time. For more information, visit wib-bank.net/quick-login.
And welcome back to this special edition of SXM Daily News for Emancipation Day 2020. We will now take you to more of the activities that were held to celebrate Emancipation Day 2020 on St. Martin. Minister Samuel envisioned a presentation that celebrates diverse cultural elements and involved a small but inspired cast of performers. The St. Martin song was played on steel pan by the Mighty Dow. Local calypsonian Marvin King Stunky Dollison, who was accompanied by the community choir, performed his Emancipation Day song, while the Rodolph Davis Dance Company dancers performed contemporary pieces, including the Panam Emancipation Dance. Additional features of the program included a musical rendition of the Freedom Song by Thierry from Nuff Respect Band. Mentions must also be made of the revival of drumming, which has always been a part of St. Martin's culture. The program incorporated the sounds of the West Indian drum by Drumology lead by Suli Mankamara. Active drummers from Helid Kokias from the northern side of the island have been an integral part of the revival of the Panam dance since 1989. Furthermore, with respect to the health protocols surrounding COVID-19, persons were once again reminded to ensure their safety by wearing masks and maintaining social distancing as they gathered during the public event.
Like the smoke that rise up to the heaven from the night camp of that Spitfire woman, long titty looking. She paved the way, July 1, 1843. Oh, what a milestone, we must celebrate what she has done for emancipation.
Her spirit would not cease, she demanded to be freed, like Harriet Tubman who fought same way for freedom in the USA. Over a century and a half since they signed that freedom draft, today I add my personal autograph.
Celebrate with proud emancipation. That's the history of we country. And stamp out the memory of Napoleon and everybody else who didn't want we set free. Sing the song.
We chanted freedom, freedom.
You could hear them ancestors bawl until this inhumane system fall.
Freedom, freedom.
Equality of status for one and all. Like the great diamond stick 26, spirit burn and glow just like a fire stick. Wave the July tree so flamboyantly. They uprooted that vicious status quo. To liberation is them open up window for everyone, for emancipation.
In May 1848, Diamond 26 didn't wait. They crossed that frontier rock wall into the French North children and all. They found fires of freedom, strike protest, beat their Panam drum. By July 1, 1863, the Dutch freedom come.
Celebrate with proud emancipation. That's the history of the country.
What we need, freedom. What we need in St. Martin. Freedom. What we need all over. Freedom. I hear these people getting low. Freedom. Enough respect man around the town. Bucky James. Bucky James. Freedom. Freedom. Bucky James. Bucky James. Freedom. Freedom. Yeah. Say we ain't going cotton.
fields, no, no. We wear those rusty chains, no, no. Can't run my skin with iron, no, no. Swalligan's rising up for sure. Say we going cotton fields, no, no. We wear those rusty chains, no, no. Can't run my skin with iron, no, no. Swalligan's rising up for sure. Bust James, freedom, freedom. Bust James, freedom, freedom, yeah. Our forefathers and mothers ran through hills for their liberty. We don't care what the critics say. As long as we remember and praise the legacy. We don't care what the critics say. My people wear the silver linings behind these dark clouds. We don't care what the critics say. So please don't be ashamed and shout this out loud. We don't care what the critics say. What we need freedom. What we need in St. Martin. Freedom. What we need all over. Freedom. I hear the people getting loud. Freedom. Respect and must run this town. Bossy J, freedom, freedom, Bossy J.
No more action left for me. No more, no more, no more action left for me. Many thousands gone. No more drivers lash for me. No more, no more. No more drivers lash for me. Many thousands gone. No more pinch of salt for me. No more, no more. No more pinch of salt for me. Many thousands gone. No more action black for me. No more, no, no, no more. No more action black for me. Many thousands gone. No more drivers lash for me. No more, no more. No more drivers lash for me. Many thousands gone. No more pinch of salt for me. No more, no, no, no more. No more pinch of salt for me. Many thousands gone.
And with that, viewers, we've come to the end of this edition of SXM News for this evening. We hope you enjoyed our special edition of SXM Daily News Emancipation Day Special. I am Valerie Van Putten, thanking you so much for joining me this evening. And just a reminder that this and other programs are available online. Simply log on to stmartinmediacenter.com for viewing. And on behalf of SXM Daily News, we thank you for watching and plan on meeting you right back here again tomorrow.
Bobo, say night.